motivation, inspiration, and then that really power of staying connected and having a network literally across the world. Tonight, our very special speaker will be Layne. Sally is a PhD and a QNMD, which means that she's in leadership within our business model, and she's also very knowledgeable as a PhD in her own endeavors in life. So let me just give you a little bit of background about Sally. Sally completed her studies in microbiology at the Pennsylvania State Medical School in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Her research was related to cancer viruses, and her goal was to be involved in finding a cure for childhood leukemia. While that goal was not realized, her interest in health and healthy living was ignited during her studies. With the emergence of medical understanding of the microbiome, Dr. Layne's passion for microbes was rekindled. She is passionate about the prevention of diseases and has dedicated the last 13 years to sharing the importance of making healthy choices to improve one's health and longevity. She will be sharing how the microbiome relates to many aspects of health, how raw fresh fruits and vegetables support a healthy microbiome, and why she is grateful for the opportunity that the Juice Plus company has given her to share her passion. So she's going to be talking to you tonight about love your body, love your gut, and love Juice Plus. And I agree with all of those things. I think it's, highly important. I heard once that, if we don't take care of our bodies, where else are we going to live? So it's certainly something that you want to give very intense attention to your whole life for yourself and your family. So I'm going to start, Sally, by asking you, how did you first hear about Juice Plus? How did you come across it?
First of all, I am just so grateful to you, Cheryl, for the value you've added to the lives of so many people over the last 30 years. And I personally have benefited more than I can possibly express from your calls, your trainings, Q schools, your attitude of gratitude that covers everything you do. Yeah. It is truly a blessing to be on your team.
Well, you're so kind. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. So we're thrilled to have you tonight. So share with us, what.
Thank you.
How did you find this? How did you find us? How did you find Juice Plus?
In answer to the question, how did I first hear about Juice Plus, I am very embarrassed to admit that I first heard about it 25 years ago when my parents returned from San Diego, where it was first introduced. My daddy, a retired pediatrician, excitedly shared it with all of his family, and sadly, none of us understood the power of that gift. We, my husband and I, tried it, in quotation marks, for 4 months, and my husband, who is also a physician, said, I don't feel anything different. This is like all the other supplements out there, and we stopped.
So that was a kind of an abrupt beginning, okay, but obviously you've been here for quite some time. You're still with us, so something happened that caused you to add Juice Plus to your diet.
It did.
What happened?
Well, 12 years ago, my daddy insisted that we come to his house, which was 3.5 hours away, and really hear about Juice Plus. By this time, we had lost our oldest child to cancer, and I myself had been treated for breast cancer. And in spite of that, we still went reluctantly. And that was when my husband was introduced to the science behind Juice Plus. At that time, there were 9 research studies, and reading them convinced him that Juice Plus had benefits for health. We started both the products and the business that day and literally threw out all the expensive vitamins we had been consuming. I had more energy almost immediately after a year battling terrible fatigue and other battles following 2 heat exhaustion events the summer before. I had dealt with irritable bowel syndrome my entire life, and it resolved rapidly after I began consuming Juice Plus. As in within a few months, I no longer had the seasonal allergies that had plagued me since we moved back to Texas. My health has just gotten better and better since that time, and I feel far better at 73 than I ever did at 53. In fact, I've been able to do 4 half marathons in the last 4 years, raising money for St. Jude, and I'm registered for my 5th in January. Juice Plus has given me my life back. My husband, on the other hand, never noticed any changes after starting Juice Plus, but said he would always eat it for prevention. And interestingly, he had major back surgery 2 years ago, and his surgeon and anesthesiologist told him to expect to wake up in ICU and have blood and all kinds of other interventions because of the seriousness of the surgery and the length of the anesthesia. Not only did he sail through the surgery, he also sailed through the recovery, and he said, the power of Juice Plus. So 1 year ago, when he had a knee replacement surgery, he was not even surprised when his recovery was the easiest among the 10 who were operated that week. Several of them were much younger than his 73 years. And he was a prevention believer before, and now he's also a recovery believer. And then there were my parents. My dad lived to 94 and a half. My mom lived to 98 and a half. Both had mental clarity to the end of their lives. My mother had only one major cold after starting Juice Plus, and she had the healthiest nails and hair of any time in her life, and sadly, she could still beat me at Scrabble. My daddy and I worked the business together until shortly before he died.
Well, I have to say I was so impressed with your parents. You and I were talking a little bit about that the other day. I had the good fortune of working with some of the national marketing directors over the years as they, did their talks for the conference. And I so well remember, your dad became a national marketing director, if I remember, in his 90s. Am I right about that?
94.
And that was, they were on stage, he and your mom. And just a real, an amazing example for all of us as far as passion for life and for other people. And so I know you come by all that joy of helping people honestly because they were certainly very, very impressive people. Well, tonight you said you wanted to share about the microbiome, and this is a word that we're hearing frequently now, and understanding more and more about how we can protect ourselves from a health standpoint. So share with people what is the microbiome and, how that affects our body and what we can do to do the best for our body.
Absolutely. That is the purpose of my talk. Honestly, Cheryl, we are standing at the beginning of a revolution in our understanding of health and disease, one that is little known and one that holds the promise of preventing both preventing and treating diseases as diverse as acne and obesity. Amazing. This revolution centers on our microbiome, which comprises all of the microorganisms that inhabit our bodies, including those on our skin, in our mouth, nose, sinuses, lungs, genitourinary tract, and especially our lower intestines. And we had no hint of the importance of our microbiome until the Human Genome Project was completed in 2003. This project allowed scientists to determine how many genes humans have, and the results came as a huge surprise. Counter to everyone's expectation of a much larger number, humans have just under 21,000 genes. That may mean nothing to us, but the shock that rippled through the scientific community can be understood if we understand and consider that a grain of rice contains 42,000 genes, over twice as many as we have. How can we function as the pinnacle of creation with so few genes? That was the question. How can we walk and talk, let alone run a 3.43-minute mile, that's the current record, solve problems with calculus, and compose symphonies with so few genes? A rice plant has twice as many genes as we do, and obviously it can't do any of these things. The answer is that we function as humans because we rely on the bacteria in our intestines to give us all of the things that we need to be human but can't make ourselves. The Human Genome Project was followed by the Microbiome Project, and the goal of the Human Microbiome Project was to identify all the different types of bacteria that inhabit our bodies. We have many surprises from this project and other research with the microbiome, including that it is far more complex than anyone imagined, that it controls so many normal bodily processes, and that damaging the microbiome is such a pervasive cause of disease. The bacteria living primarily in our lower intestine are largely responsible for our overall health. The healthy gut microbiome leads to good health, and unhealthy gut microbiome leads to disease and unhealthy conditions. And over time, it can lead to premature aging and death. These microbes control our cardiovascular health, imbalances leading to heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular disease, our metabolism. The most notable problem today is the continuing rise in obesity and type 2 diabetes in all age groups. Our immune function and imbalance leading to asthma and allergies, as well as the many autoimmune diseases. And some of these are lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, MS, periodontal disease, and Crohn's disease, and many others. Our brain health imbalances leading to ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and autism. And our skin health imbalances leading to acne, psoriasis, and eczema, and other imbalances in our microbiome leading to intestinal problems such as irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, and gluten sensitivity. Also, the microbiome is involved in several cancers and, no doubt, other conditions I haven't mentioned and that haven't even been recognized yet. It makes my head spin. Sadly, there are indications that the frightening rise in type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and many other ominous conditions in children are related to their damaged microbiomes. David Katz, MD, the founding director of Yale University's Prevention Research Center, the first medical center for the study of prevention in the United States, wrote September 22, 2015, children born in the year 2000 or later are not expected to outlive their parents. Poor diet in kids is more dangerous than alcohol, drugs, and tobacco combined. I honestly believe many, perhaps most of these young people will die as a result of damage to their microbiomes, and yet this is something that can be both prevented and healed by a good diet. It's very easy to damage the microbiome, and it takes time to heal. There are many causes for the damage. The most obvious is antibiotics. Interestingly, 80% of the antibiotics in this country are fed to livestock, not to keep them healthy, but to fatten them. Think about that. And the runoff from the farms that raise these animals damages the water and land, think farmland, downstream, and can have profound health consequences. However, the most common damage is from our own poor diet choices, including unhealthy fats, excess sugar, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, actually anything artificial, processed foods and fast foods. The standard American diet is also known by the acronym SAD, or SAD. It's not just sad, but it's also destroying the health of our nation. This diet of hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries, processed foods, fast foods, soft drinks, high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, excess sugar and salt has become the norm for many families, not only in the United States, but also in many nations around the world. With these choices come all of the diseases and conditions associated with damaged microbiomes. My husband used to say, fast foods are one step above poison, and now he says, fast foods are poison, and I agree. And finally, meat. Clean meat without antibiotics and preservatives, a serving the size of your palm and the thickness of a deck of cards can be digested completely in the small intestine, where enzymes are located for its digestion. Any more meat consumed at a meal will reach the large intestine, where the microbiome is located and where there are no enzymes to digest it, causing putrefaction, which is deadly to the microbes that live there. It's like eating meat that has been left out and allowed to rot. Many people think that they can eat whatever they want and take a multivitamin and all will be well. Countless studies have shown that isolated and synthetic vitamins, with only a few exceptions, are of no value to our health and longevity. Though of no benefit, they are mainstream. $37 billion annually, and they are not going away anytime soon. The microbiome doesn't know what to do with isolated vitamins. At best, they merely pass through the gut, and at worst, they can actually cause harm. We do not have a vitamin deficiency in this country. We have a whole food deficiency. And now the new buzzword for health is probiotics, the new quick fix to all our health ills. Probiotics are living bacteria. Most are actually destroyed passing through the acids of the stomach, and any that make it through to the gut will die unless they are well fed. So, how do we love our guts and love our bodies? Very simply, consume the foods that the bacteria need and avoid the things that damage the bacteria making up the microbiome. And what they need to be fed well are fruits, vegetables, and fiber, largely soluble. These are prebiotics, and prebiotics are the food for the microbiome. The microbes need a wide range of fruits and vegetables in a rainbow of colors. The recommendation is for 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables the size of your fist or 2 fists for leafy greens, and more servings for seasoned athletes. Currently, the average number of daily servings in the United States is 1.5, and starches such as potatoes do not count. The USDA has given us the amount of fiber we need in our diets to be healthy, and it's quite a lot. 25 grams for adult women and 38 grams for adult men. The best sources of fiber for the microbiome are beans and whole grains and the fiber in a variety of fruits and vegetables. People who eat many servings of fruits, vegetables, and fiber feed their microbiomes well, and those who don't can starve out beneficial bacteria in the gut. That in turn means we're starving ourselves of many of the compounds we need to be healthy but cannot make ourselves. There is no magic bullet, there is no magic diet program, diet pill, or probiotic that can promise optimal health. A few weeks ago on this call, we heard Dr. Susanna Saeed Phillips say, you don't have to be a victim of poor nutrition, and you don't have to be a victim of poor genes. I absolutely agree. We can make changes, and we can make wise choices if it is important enough to us. It was critical for me. So how do we easily promote optimal health? We have the potential to take healthy back. I think anyone can make one simple change to begin this journey. And the solution I propose centers on our healthy living revolution. The first simple step is adding Juice Plus, which is the powdered micronutrients of 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries chosen for their outstanding nutritional density in capsules or chewables. My sponsor calls it Jetson food. Next, adding the macronutrients in our Juice Plus Complete with both outstanding protein and fiber to our diets gives wonderful support to our microbiomes and then, by extension, to our overall health. This is a simple and affordable start to better health for ourselves and for those we love. And children can receive free Juice Plus for up to 4 years as part of our wonderful children's health study. We should also consume as many servings of fresh fruits and vegetables as we are able. Juice Plus bridges the gap between the vast number we should consume daily and the number we actually do consume. Increasing our exercise, sleep, and water, and eliminating toxic foods and drinks round out the choices that support optimal health. This sounds like I'm preaching Shred 10, and I am. Shred 10 is a powerful jump start to establishing good habits that support good health. If you don't know about Shred 10, ask the person who invited you to this call. What we have to offer is priceless. We share products that have been promoting health for 25 years, and now we know that they have been promoting the health of our microbiomes. If you are asking, does Juice Plus work? The answer is a resounding yes. Juice Plus is the most research-branded nutritional product in the world. The 39 scientific studies, mostly RCT, or random controlled trials, have confirmed that Juice Plus promotes healing and good health and prevents damage that causes disease and aging. If you are hearing about Juice Plus for the first time, know that it is outstanding food that will support good health and will help give you excellent nutritional support if you are battling any health challenge or if you are feeling well and want to continue feeling well for decades. So if you are asking, will it work for me? Again, if you consume it regularly, the answer is yes. I want to highlight one study now, one Juice Plus study, and this particular study was done at the University of Newcastle in Australia, giving Juice Plus fruit, berry, and vegetable powders to obese people, which, by the way, is an inflammatory disease. One of the surprises from this study was that Juice Plus boosted the action of over 1,500 healthy genes. Many of these genes had to do with fat metabolism and immune function, giving us the first hint that many of the benefits of Juice Plus come from boosting healthy gene function. And truly, we do not have to be a victim of poor genes. This one study showed strong parallels of the many already proven scientific benefits, already scientifically proven benefits of Juice Plus, and the benefits of a healthy microbiome. And I want to make one more microbiome comment about another product we have, and that is the Tower Garden. It is the aeroponic growing system developed out of research done at the land part of Epcot. The comment I want to make is that plants, like all living organisms have microbiomes, and plants can be healthy or unhealthy, just like humans. Plant and human physiologists developed exactly the right mineral balance for the Tower Garden tonic to grow the very healthiest plants to promote health in those of us who consume those plants. Again, talk to the person who invited you to this call for more information about this wonderful growing system. Each of these solutions to the health problems we have, each of these gives solutions to the health problems we have as a nation. I am grateful to be aligned with a company that has been promoting healthy living around the world for almost 50 years.
Well, and I have to say I'm also very proud to be aligned with this and feel like for my own health, for my family, I certainly know this has given us our edge. But when I hear someone like yourself talk about this, I'm just so happy, for myself, for others that I know and love, and, that we have had Juice Plus all these years, that, we have it to offer for people for the rest of their lives, and that it makes a huge difference. We see it over and over and over. And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking as well, how blessed we are that we live in a time where things like the realization of the microbiome and the difference that we can make for ourselves, when I was growing up, I used to think, illness was something that just kind of, it happened to you and you had no choice. It either happened to you or it didn't. And today we really realize we can make a difference for ourselves. And I think that's extremely, extremely powerful.
It is.
And it's so powerful to have people like yourself who have the knowledge to share it with others so that it is understandable, I guess I would say on my layman's level, because I don't have any kind of scientific background, but I certainly have watched this for the 25 years I've been taking it. for the 25 years I've been sharing it with people. And I can say, like I heard you say about yourself and your husband, I'm healthier now than I was 25 years ago. And so that's just amazing to me every time I say it. But
Right.
Thank you so much for that input. Well, you did mention at some point in our conversation, whether before or on this call, that you actually joined our Juice Plus business the same day you ordered the products, and so at some point that must have kicked in as well, because as a qualifying national marketing director, you certainly have grown up into leadership with this. So tell us a little bit about that and how that came about and what you see for yourself in your future there.
Well, I'm going to give a little bit of background first. And from the time I was a child, I honestly thought I would contribute to the cure of childhood leukemia. I had a passion to save lives, and even though I received my doctorate in microbiology studying cancer viruses, that dream was not realized. So I dedicated myself to being a wife and mother of our 3 children, and I loved my life. However, our oldest son, Lowell, was diagnosed with a rare and inoperable pediatric cancer while he was in college. The devastation of his illness and death precipitated in our lives rocked our world. And that day, 13 years ago, when we finally ordered Juice Plus, I heard stories about Juice Plus changing lives. It gave me hope for a new purpose in my life after floundering for the 3 years following his death. And though my dream to cure leukemia wasn't realized, with a team of like-minded distributors, I discovered that I could have a far greater impact on world health than I ever had imagined in research. With each dollar I earn, I know that there is a potential for a person to have better health or to prevent a disease later on. I have the privilege of sharing health, healing, and hope. 6 years ago at our fall conference in Dallas, a huge photo of MD Anderson Cancer Treatment Center flashed on the screen showing where the just completed ovarian cancer study was conducted. My best friend had died of ovarian cancer 8 months earlier, and MD Anderson was the hospital where our son had been treated for Ewing sarcoma of the spine. And I said, what if? What if I and a team could change the statistics of cancer deaths among children in the U.S.? But we wouldn't get credit for it because they wouldn't get cancer, and so they wouldn't be part of the statistics. That would be the perfect job, and that was the moment I got my why. Though we had lost our son, Lowell, to cancer, if by what I share, even one family is spared the devastation our family experienced, financially, physically, and personally, I will be forever grateful. But what if thousands or even millions can be spared that tragedy? What we have is priceless, and so I believe we have an obligation to share it with everyone on the planet. If anyone has a disease or medical condition, they need to know what we have. If anyone we know appears to be healthy, we have an obligation to help them ensure their continued good health from the inside out. Further, we have an obligation to share what we have with others who care about the health of those they know and love. Without our teams, countless people will never find hope for their health challenges. We have a company that has provided us with a marketing plan superior to any other in direct sales, network marketing, franchise, or corporation. We all know people who are praying for a solution to their financial woes, and our simple system may be the very answer they're looking for. There are countless who are even afraid to admit that they're hurting financially. It could even be you. If you or someone you know are looking at our franchise as a possible plan B or even plan A, you will find a family. They will find a family, a community, and a company that will welcome you with open arms and that are ready to lock arms with you. If you think you are too young, you are not if you are over 18. And if you think you are too old, you are not. My dad learned to use a computer in his 80s. He traveled to conferences by himself into his early 90s. He and my mom lived in Waco, Texas, where he was known as the Juice Plus man, sharing Juice Plus and Jesus with every person he met. He was in the hospital a couple of times, and he loved being there because he had an entirely new audience for both Juice Plus and Jesus. The most important day in his life was the day he found out he became a national marketing director at 94 years of age. Just 8 months later, he got to see his Jesus face to face. What a year and what a ride. If you are a distributor on this call, whether a brand new distributor, I heard a number of brand new distributors on the call, or a leader who has impacted the lives of thousands, each of us has one thing in common. We all have a reason for sharing Juice Plus, and regardless of our reason, we share hope. If you have not yet found your reason, your why, if you don't have your story, talk with your sponsors so you too can inspire healthy living around the world. Your story could change countless lives for health or financial security or both. We in the Cortese organization have access to many wonderful tools to advance our healthy living mission and sharing hope, regardless what the health or financial story is for those you encounter. Your sponsor will direct you to those tools. And finally, if you have someone you care about who has not yet seen the value of Juice Plus and our virtual franchise, never give up. I am so grateful that my dad never gave up on us. By his persistence for 12 years, people are healthier, moms are staying home to raise their children, others have been able to retire, many are able to support charities that mean a great deal to us, and many of us have made friends for life all over the world. We are blessed to be part of this company, the company with a heart. What a legacy. Be blessed as you share health and healing and hope with your friends, your family, and those you may meet for the very first time, even tonight. Thank you, Cheryl, for giving me the privilege to share my passion for health and Juice Plus. And finally, I want to give thanks to God for fruits and vegetables and their potential to save many people alive.
Well, thank you so much, Sally. Such a beautiful story, and I didn't know about your son, and my heart certainly goes out to you and to your family. It doesn't matter when it happened. It still is something that, just really touches me, and I know so many other people it would as well, everyone really. Right. But, the passion that has followed and that still continues in you is certainly alive and well and making a difference for other people. And I loved your story. I love it, and I love the information, and I'm just proud to know you and to work alongside you. And I tell you what, if I weren't signed up, I would be signing up just from hearing this. So thank you for your input tonight. Really, really appreciate it for your information and your inspiration as well. And look forward to seeing you at conference. I think we're going to be there right about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And all of you on the line, certainly that's one of the reasons we go to conference, to meet and greet and connect with each other that we meet on these calls, as well as now through technology, and to be there live and in person and really see what you're a part of. So thank you for sharing so eloquently what we all are a part of, and really appreciate your time tonight, Sally. Thank you. And to all of you on the line as well, we appreciate your time and being here with us tonight, and it's great to learn new things together. So we'll say good night.
Unmuted.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.